take a look at the new look defense and some of the guys you think that have kind of stood out along that line.
Yeah, so the first guy to me, a little bit of an underrated signing, it's going to come down to with health with him, and that is Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle that they signed. He's been with the 49ers, he's been with the Raiders. He is a very underrated player, and he could start next to Dalvin Tomlinson. I don't know if the Browns will do that just because, again, he has struggled with injury, but the talent is there. You're seeing a lot of reports come out that he is being used a lot by Jim Schwartz, and even in some cases starting next to Dalvin Tomlinson when they're going through team drills. And I think that shows that they really believe in Maurice Hurst. So far, Maurice Hurst has been healthy. I know they have not put on pads yet, but that's still a good sign that he's able to show up to these workouts right now with no injury, playing at 100%. That's really good to see. So really intrigued with Maurice Hurst, because if you can get Maurice Hurst healthy for even the majority of the season, I mean, I'm talking like 12, 14 games, because it's hard for a lot of these guys to play full 17-game season. If you get Maurice Hurst for that long, I think he's going to be a very valuable contributor for the Browns. And keep in mind, he was a very cheap addition by Andrew Berry. And also, I just love what Juan Thornhill is bringing to this team. He has that swagger to him that I really think the Browns could use on that defensive side of the ball. He brings some of that leadership, being a two-time Super Bowl champion with the Chiefs. I love that he's embracing the city of Cleveland. He seems really engaged, not only like with the fan base, but also his teammates. You can see that. It just seems like a really well tight-knit group on defense. You're seeing Denzel Ward. You're seeing some of these guys speak out, talk about what they're loving about the scheme, how Jim Schwartz is making things simpler for all of his players. It sounds like last year, the reason there was a lot of miscommunication is that things were complex. You saw a bunch of players when they were blowing coverages looking confused. Like, wait, was that supposed to be my assignment? Was that your assignment? Jim Schwartz is making everything simpler for these guys. And I think that's really important to see. One final guy that has really stood out to me so far that seems to be making a lot of plays, I would say that is also Greg Newsome's looked pretty good so far to start. And I think that's good because people were worried, does he want to play is he willing to play the slot? Is he not? But Greg Newsome's talked about that he's not basically being used as a linebacker anymore. He's actually being able to play outside as a corner and as a slot corner, and he is willing to come up and tackle. So just some of the guys that have stood out so far, but you can already see that new scheme that players are warming up to because it's a lot simpler for them to follow, and it's a lot easier to communicate. And I think also bringing in Rodney McLeod is going to help with that because, like we talked about, Rodney McLeod has that experience in Jim Schwartz's system that the team is going to be running this year.